Hello, I am the exceptional detective. I find cases of exceptionalism on the internet that would cause most to shudder, to be confused, to be curious, but most importantly, to show you how not to use the internet. Today is one such a case, where a man obsessed with the ideas of companionship in a community of lonely virgins takes his fetish and grotesque behavior a little too far. Many of you here have heard of the phrase known as incel. Its meaning is that of an involuntary celibate. Incels believe that they are destined to be virgins and alone and blame women, society, chads, and genetics as their factors to this cause. Personally, these people just need to learn how to ask a girl out, but one would suspect this to be an impossibility for them. A YouTuber by the name of Glink has done a good breakdown video on incel communities as a whole, and I recommend you watch it to get brushed up on the subject at hand going forward. Link in the description below. We will be discussing the case of a particular incel that goes by the username Grotesque. This man claims to be a 36-year-old incel who has a history of being vocal on his thoughts of, quote-unquote, the black pill, or women in general. Just to give you an idea of this is a video here.
So I'm taking a shit and I figure I might as well talk about the black pill. You know, I think people don't understand the true depth of taking the black pill. I've seen when Eggman made this video, that failed normal fag motherfucker, he only talked about relationships and how women are gonna cuck you, or you just gotta pay for bitches, and it goes far beyond that. Nobody respects ugly people. Nobody likes ugly people. Even on incel boards, like, it's beyond me how some people even want to be friends with each other. I don't want no one of you. I wish you all were dead. You're all just pieces of shit to me. So, it goes beyond just women. I mean,
As you can see, he has a clear disdain and odd outlook on things as a whole, not to mention making poop videos on the fly. Never do this, folks. Ever. I'm serious. Now, besides his YouTube channel, which was reported and shut down recently, causing him to move to Daily Motion, he seems to prefer to be active in online discussion forums about, you guessed it, incels. Yet his talks altogether are, to put it mildly, disturbing and somewhat criminal if to be proven true. Starting with the website incels.me, Grotesque frequents daily, almost hourly at times, to discuss his favorite hobbies, like degrading his therapist and getting her career ruined. Grotesque writes, "It's edgy, but it works. I told my fat cunt counselor that I hoped her mother died due to her cancer, crying her last moments about her failed daughter never having kids, and embarrassed her for decades." In response, Reddit is for Cucks wrote, "Laugh my ass off. What did the counselor say?" Grotesque responds with, "She sent me a cease and desist letter that I ignored, and she had me arrested. And then she got fired," and links to her Facebook. Sparky wrote, "On what grounds did she have you arrested? Surely you are protected by freedom of speech, no?" Grotesque responds with, "I emailed her after she told me not to. That's enough to get one arrested in the United States. Everything's been dropped twice now, but I have to go through lots of bullshit to get there. Still worth it though, since I fucked up her career." Nausea wrote, "You got charged with stalking, eh? How many years are you into this one-nightitis spell?" What the fuck is one-nightitis? Ah, here it is. One-nightitis is a common affliction, especially among geeks, affecting millions of men and women daily. Symptoms can include feelings of hopelessness, heart palpitations, dry mouth, depression, anxiety, and the inability to seek out romantic or sexual relations. Did they actually come up with the definition for incels? That's amazing. Grotesque responds with, "No, I never stalked her. She just knows about my acid-facing desires, and that I wanted to rape her when I was a virgin. And I don't even want to acid face her now because she gained a ton of weight and her ass is gigantic now, along with guaranteeing herself that she'll die alone," which is hilarious. What the fuck? As disturbing as that sounds, we've got more comments. Grotesque here titles his thread, "Females are the caring sex and they should be sucking incel dick regularly to save lives." And he starts the comments with this, "Women don't want to save lives, they want us to die. They want us to kill everyone." Okay, maybe there's something redeeming here. Let's look at his next thread. "I went to my doctor's assistant today and she gave me a hernia test. And he comments as followed. And I gave her a face full of my 6.5 fully erect, massive manhood while she caressed my shaven balls. I asked her how she liked it, and he links to her real account. Cute little redhead, oh dem pale Irish girls. Okay, this is getting a little out of hand. This comes from a thread talking about a man who killed his own kid, and Jagged O writes, hope he rots in hell for killing his own kid. And Grotesque responds with, the father usually kills the kid because he doesn't want him to suffer through a broken home or single mother's poisoning his brain. Clearly disturbed and hates women, he follows up in another thread talking about self-improvement. He goes as follows. They use the term quote-unquote self-improvement often and never explain what that is and why they should do it, etc. They have so many code words for be attractive. My least favorite, though, are when they say that incels only blame everyone else. They rip on the black pill while not understanding it in the slightest. Unlike the majority of just word society, we recognize our faults and know why we have been rejected by society. We know face, and we don't have it. Over here in another thread, again, we have him writing, my optimal scenario is finally winning the heart of a female, then brutally raping and ruining her reproductive organs, then acid-facing her so she'll be completely useless to society, then harass her into suicide. Jesus Christ. And as horrible and grotesque as this person seems to be, he understands clearly that the cops can't do anything to him as long as it isn't a direct threat, as stated here. Correct. I've had local police reading my shit for over a year now. They can't do anything unless there's a direct threat involved. Finally, some users had gotten tired of his opinions, and Face and LMS wrote, do you really want me to dig up the post on Lookism, where you were fucking some 5'10 woman and wanted to move on to her daughter? He writes back, LOL, Stacy is far from 5'10, and my point stands. I am handholdless. Lookism. Well, let's check this website out. Lookism.net, the forefront of the coping movement. Grotesque, of course, has an account here as well, and it looks like he was active 37 minutes ago from the release of this video. Let's check out some of his posts here and see if they match the description of what we've been seeing so far, as horrible as this person is. Grotesque starts the title of his thread as, my girlfriend has 17 friends on Facebook, and he says as followed, what the fuck? She's been regularly using it since 2006, with posting tons of pictures of herself. 17 friends? That's so sad. She's honestly a bigger loser than me, who can't be a single friend anywhere. And I mog her old boyfriend to hell and back. Feels good. I also stole money from her purse because I can. What a scumbag. As horrible as that is, that's not as bad as his last post, but what the fuck is this? Grotesque bought acid on the internet. And it goes as followed. Just had contact with him, and he told me he bought acid from Russia to acid face someone. The guy broke loose. And he responds, I already have sulfuric acid. It's easy to get. For those of you who don't understand how serious acid facing someone is, let me show you just this little clip of someone dropping pork into acid. As insane and fucked up as this guy is, this isn't his first account on this website. He's actually been banned for saying and doing a lot worse things than this. Over on Rate My Deformed Lower Third, Maximilia and Informous Eye Circles, he posts a picture of himself on his banned account, Unattractive Failure, and follows up with a snippet of what looks like a timestamp underneath it. Let's see what post he's made. And of course he talks about the therapist in this account 1 year prior, stating, what else do you want as proof? I can share my therapist's Facebook and you can copy the threads here where I stated I'm going to rape her. In another thread he titles, I want to cut women's breasts off and slowly watch them bleed to death. He states, that seems more civilized than a rusted chainsaw in their gash. Every woman deserves this. Every single woman for rejecting me. In another thread titled, I need to pour acid on young jailbait face, he writes, the ecstasy of ruining trillions of dollars of worth in a flash. I'm masturbating to it. Murder isn't my plan now. I want to rob females of their beauty. They are nothing without it. They will suffer far worse than I ever have, and I will love every second of it. Following this fucked up statement, he makes another thread titled, I have lower value than Fritzl. Who the fuck is Fritzl? Oh yeah, who is Joseph Fritzl? What happened to his daughter Elizabeth, and where is the Australian sex fiend now? The notorious rapist imprisoned his own daughter in a cellar where he sexually assaulted her thousands of times over a 24-year period. Wow. And Grotesque here writes, if I somehow had daughters, they'd be too ugly and autistic for me to even fuck them. What is the point? Wow, real fucking brilliant idea, wanting to fuck your own daughters. In our next thread titled, It's Saturday Night, I will be masturbating to naughty bookworms and shitposting, he writes, I should have became a teacher so I could fuck gullible 8th grade girls. I can't take much more of this guy's writing anymore, so I'll read one more thread. He writes, I must receive a consensual blowjob by 15th November or ER is taking place, and he states, specifically on all women I see. I've started my manifesto tonight. And clearly this isn't all for attention, as he wants somebody to come and murder him to stop him from carrying out these dastardly deeds of rape, pedophilia, murder, acid face, and more.
God, strike me down! Allah, strike me down! Allahu Akbar, Takbir, Durka Durka Jihad, Vishnu, strike me down! Amaterasu, strike me down! What else there? Chad, strike me down! Please murder me! Bludgeon me to death! Throw me in a den of lions! Just kill me somehow. Thank you.
So what do I think of all this? He's either the edgelord to end all edgelords, or the next Elliot Rodgers with a hard-on for deforming women and raping children. To this day, I have not seen any police reports or convictions indicating that he has been charged or arrested on rape, murder, acid attacks, or pedophilia. The most we have is his accounts of harassment of his therapist and his edgy-ass responses. Clearly, this person should be kept away from civilization and dropped off the face of the earth, but that's not for me to decide. If you are interested in seeing where this walking sack of shit ends up, follow his forum accounts and hope for the best. I am the Exceptional Detective, and see you all in the next case.